You don't have to search far, the Father is right here in every breath. God's love and unending remind you, you will never let His embrace.
My beloved child, since ancient times, and humanity has been taught that suffering is not a punishment, but a path, a passage leading to liberation and awakening. In the Buddhist scriptures, it is written, "The wise do not lament in suffering, for they understand that pain is part of the process of inner purification." And in the Bible, my words offer comfort and hope. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. Romans 8:18. These teachings, though they arise from seemingly different traditions, point to the same eternal truth. Pain is not meaningless. It is not the end. It is the way, the winding, often rugged road toward the deepest healing. Yes, you have earnestly prayed for healing, and I have heard you, but I do not act in haste, nor with superficial remedies. I do not come merely to extinguish the fire of temporary pain and leave. I come to carry out a greater work, a lasting transformation beyond what you have imagined. The glimmers of hope you once felt, those fleeting sparks amidst your pain, they were not illusions. They were not fragile dreams destined to fade. They were sacred signs, messages from me that I am indeed at work. Those moments when you sensed relief, when your heart lifted even slightly, only to fall again, they were not signs of failure or abandonment. They were part of the process, a sacred process I am using to deepen your trust, to draw you nearer, to invite you to love me, not for what I give, but for who I am in your life. You have felt betrayed by hope itself, hope you once clung to like a lantern, only to see it snuffed out by the harsh winds of reality. You have quietly wondered, do my prayers truly reach you? Are you really listening? Do you see me at all? Or am I just one drop in the vast ocean of human suffering? I understand these questions. I do not blame you. In truth, I treasure your honesty. Such questions are born of real relationship, for only those who love dare to ask. And only those who still hope dare to be disappointed. And it is precisely when you stop pretending to be strong, when you collapse in your weakness, that you come closest to me. I know there are nights you cry silently in the dark, hiding your tears so no one sees the desperation breaking within you. I know there are mornings you look into the mirror and feel like a stranger to yourself because the pain has stolen your vitality, your confidence, the simple joys that once made you smile. But my dear one, know this, it is in those very moments, those raw, stripped-down encounters with sorrow that I am closest, not to scold or burden you, but to hold you, to whisper gently, I am here. You are not alone. You may think faith must be unshakable, always strong, to be worthy of my attention, but that is not true. I do not seek perfect children. I seek honest hearts, even hearts that are trembling, full of questions, yet still choose to turn toward me, even with just a breath. Even with just one upward glance through tears, I see it, and I cherish it more than anything else. My beloved, I am doing more than just healing your body. I am rebuilding a soul that has endured much. I am gathering each shattered piece of your heart and mending them with compassion. I am creating something new, not merely physical wellness, but true life, life free from shame, from fear, from self-doubt, and from questioning my love. The setbacks, the days when pain returns, these are not signs that I have left you, but gentle reminders that the journey continues, that I am still working. Slowly, but surely. You may never return to exactly who you were, but you will become something even more beautiful. Someone who understands, who loves, who listens, and most importantly, who lives by a faith no longer conditioned by circumstances. It is in the collapse of all you once depended on that you learn to stand on a foundation that cannot be shaken, the enduring, unchanging presence of my love. So do not give up. Keep believing even if your faith feels as fragile as a single thread. Keep praying even if all you can manage is a wordless sigh. Know that when you no longer have the strength to walk, I will carry you, not because you have earned it through merit, but because you are mine and my love for you cannot be undone. You do not need to earn this love. You only need to stay. Let me heal you slowly, gently, deeply, not just the parts of you that you can see, but even the hidden places you've never dared to touch. That is the true miracle, not loud, not showy, but enduring and full of power. And one day, you will look back and understand every pain, every tear, every seemingly endless night, they were not in vain. They were steps on your journey home, home to yourself, and home into the arms that have never given up on you. My beloved child, never believe that I have turned my back on you, not even in your loneliest, most forsaken moments in this world. I have never left, not for a single second, even when you no longer have strength to pray. When your heart feels like a hollow shell, I am holding you in silence. Every tear you shed, I have seen. Every sob that breaks from the depths of your soul, I have heard. You never suffer alone. In the darkest nights when pain grips every fiber of your being, and in the brightest mornings when your spirit is still clouded in shadow, I am there, closer than you imagine, closer than your next heartbeat. I have never forgotten you. Never let go. You are the breath in my heart, the love I carry without condition. Etch this truth upon your heart. Healing does not always come as swiftly as the human heart desires. For I, the one who loves you beyond measure, see what you cannot. The delay you feel is not my absence, nor is it punishment for your past. It is not the cold silence you fear. No, it is preparation tender and deliberate. It is the moment when I am shaping your soul, molding your heart into the image. I created it to be a heart capable of deep love, unwavering faith amid storms, and peace that endures even in suffering. I do not stand outside this process. I am in it with you, not as a distant overseer, but as one who suffers with you, who lifts you when you fall, who wipes away your tears when even crying feels impossible. You have asked for healing, and I have heard. Not once, not vaguely, but every word, every unspoken thought held in your heart has been treasured by me. But know this, I am doing more than restoring the physical. I am reaching deeper into the hidden places of your soul that even you have not dared to face. The old wounds long buried, the silent fears steering your actions, the doubts gnawing at your faith, all these I am gently touching, not to reopen pain, but to heal it at the root. This takes time, patience, and your courage to allow me into those chambers you once locked away. I know you have hoped and felt disappointment. I know there are times when your faith seems to run dry, when prayer feels like an echo in a vast emptiness. But my dear one, I have never ignored your heart. Each time you lift your gaze through tears, each whisper of a plea, even when barely a breath, strengthens the bond between us. And I hold that bond tightly. Those moments when your condition improves, only to worsen again, these are not the end. They are not signs of futility. They are my invitation to keep trusting, to keep walking, to remain with me, not only for the healing, but for the love that is growing through it all. I do not take pleasure in your pain, never, but I can use that very suffering as soil nurtures a seed, as fire refines gold to bring forth the most beautiful good in your life. All things work together for the good of those who love God. Romans 8:28. This means not one moment of your life is wasted. Not one tear falls in vain. I use it all to weave a greater story, a tapestry beyond your current understanding, but filled with purpose and hope. Just as the Buddha taught, it is through suffering that the path is found. Without mud, how can the lotus bloom? I too am using the very mud of your life to bring forth a pure blossom from your soul. What you are enduring now does not define you. It is laying the foundation so you can stand upon mature faith, deep love, and a new life rooted not in fleeting success or ease, but in a living, true relationship with me. So, my child, do not let your heart falter when the wait feels long. See the delay as a promise being formed as a sprout, pushing silently but steadily beneath the soil. I am still working, still preparing the way, still healing not only what you desire, but also what you never expected. And when that day comes, the day of clarity, the day your heart bursts with recognition, you will understand why I allowed it all. Not to harm you, but to give you something far greater than what you asked, a life truly united with me in freedom, in peace, in Unshakable. You are mine forever. I know you. I understand you. I love you with a love beyond all comprehension. Stay with me. Do not turn away. And you will see not just healing, but true life, deep and full, which I have always longed to give. As you wait, remember, you are not waiting alone. I am waiting with you, and I will not let your waiting be in vain. When you look around and feel as though all progress has vanished, as though every prayer, every hope you once held is now reduced to ashes, I know you feel lost. You begin to question, where did I go wrong? Was my faith not strong enough? Was my prayer not sincere? And then comes the silence. A silence so vast it seems to engulf everything, and it leaves you bewildered. But my beloved, silence does not mean absence. What you no longer feel does not mean it is no longer real. The work I am doing in you is not undone, just because you cannot yet see its results. No, the work continues, silently transforming you from within, piece by piece. Just as a seed quietly surrenders to the soil before it breaks forth into the light, a seed, once planted, does not sprout overnight. Sometimes it must lie buried deep in the soil for many days, even weeks hidden in darkness, in stillness, in what appears to be forgetfulness. But that does not mean it is dead. On the contrary, it is precisely in that darkness that life begins to take shape. I am doing the same work within you. But before the sprout can break through, before what you've prayed for takes form, I must first clear the soil of your heart. There are stones buried deep, old wounds, limiting thoughts, distorted beliefs you've carried for years. If they are not removed, they will block the path to true healing. You might see temporary change, but not the lasting transformation I long for you to have. My beloved, my timing is not your timing. I do not work according to the clock or calendar you set. I am not confined by notions of fast or slow as humans perceive. My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts surpass anything your mind can imagine. I see the full picture, not just what you need today, but what you will need in the years to come. In the journey of growth, I planned before you were born. I am not in a hurry, because I love you. I am patient, because what I am preparing for you is not a fleeting relief, but a complete restoration, a healing that reaches to the roots, that you may live in true freedom. So I ask you, do you desire a momentary comfort or the full restoration I am leading you into? You ask for healing of the body, but I offer more than that. I am the healer not only of the aching body, but of the weary mind, the broken soul, and the fragile faith within you. I see all of you, not just the symptoms on the surface, but even the unnamed pains you've never spoken aloud. And it is there, in that hidden depth, that I am placing my hand, softening what has gone dry, reviving what seemed dead. Do you see? It is pain that has led you to deeper places, where you seek me not only for what I can do, but for who I am. Before, perhaps you came to me with petitions. Now, you come with your whole heart. Before, you may have sought a miracle. Now, you seek the miracle worker. And in that seeking, you are finding me not as a distant idea, but as one near, as a father, a friend, a companion who never leaves your side. This love does not need to prove itself by instant healing. It has always been there, big enough to hold every question, every doubt, and even every moment of weakness you've been ashamed to carry. You are learning that my presence is not dependent on your circumstances. I am not only with you when you are healthy, joyful, or succeeding. I am especially near when you fall, when you feel there is nothing left to hold on to. My presence is not swayed by your emotions, and that's what makes it steady as rock. The place you can lean on when the world around you shakes. You are learning, too, that joy can coexist with sorrow, that amid a reality of many tears, a quiet smile can still bloom because your heart knows the worst thing cannot separate you from me. And peace, oh, that peace does not come from favorable conditions, but from knowing you are held by a hand that never lets go. That is the miracle happening in you even now. Not the kind of miracle that draws attention from the outside, but the truest kind, a transformation in the deepest places, a change that cannot be reversed, a miracle that allows your heart, though scarred, to beat with new love. A miracle that enables you to wake each morning and say, I don't understand it all, but I still believe. A miracle that teaches you to stand firm, even when nothing around you has changed, because you know what is changing is within, and you begin to live with a faith no longer anchored to results, but grounded in a living relationship with me. You are becoming who I created you to be: strong in love, steady in trial, tender in suffering. So, my beloved, keep walking, if only one small step at a time. Keep praying, even if all you can manage is a sigh. Keep believing, even if it's with the faintest flicker of hope. For the miracle is not in perfection, but in persistence, not in never doubting, but in choosing to return again and again. I am not waiting for flawless faith. I am waiting for an honest heart, and you have given me that. So rest in me. Stop striving to arrive at something. You don't need to be enough to be loved. You are already loved, and that love will continue to heal you, lift you, and lead you further than you ever thought possible. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. This is not merely a comfort, but an invitation to lean back into my embrace, to stop within the swirl of your thoughts and recognize that I, the one who does not change, does not sleep, does not give up, am here, in every moment, in every breath, and what I have begun in you, I will complete. My dearest one, every day you have struggled to hold on. Every hour you have fought to hope while everything seemed to fall apart. I have seen. I not only know the pain you carry, I am using that very pain to shape you, to refine your soul into brilliance like gold tested in fire. I do not test you to exhaust or break you, but because there is a glory that can only be carried through the furnace, a glory that does not fade, cannot be washed away by circumstance, does not depend on what your eyes can see, but takes root in your innermost being, where I dwell. I know that waiting is not easy. I know the weight of long-held hope as though you're holding something precious you cannot yet fully see, but also dare not let go. And in that space, between hope and fulfillment, you sometimes feel torn apart. But my beloved, take heart. I am still here. I have never left, never turned my face away. I walk beside you, not only in your strength and joy, but even when you limp forward in tears. I walk with you when you stumble, and especially when you feel you can't go on. That is when I will carry you, not because you've earned it, but because you are mine. You think your weakness makes you unworthy, makes you distant from me, but the truth is the opposite. Your weakness draws me even closer. I do not despise the weak, nor abandon the fallen. I am near to the broken-hearted, those whose souls have nothing left to boast of but their groaning emptiness. The Lord is near to the broken-hearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. You are not abandoned. You are not alone. Every time you choose to trust with no visible reason, I see it. Every time you whisper a trembling prayer in the dark unheard, unrecognized, I listen. Every word of thanksgiving you offer, not in ease, but in the storm. Through your tears, I receive. I treasure that faith, the kind that asks for no reward, no condition, but still clings to me. To me, that faith is more precious than anything this world offers. It is worth more than gold refined by fire, because it is real. And it is that very faith I am using to write a testimony not just for you, but for others silently watching. They may not speak. You may not know, but they are watching how you endure, how you keep praying, how you keep walking though your heart breaks. And they will see you healed, yes, but more than that, they will see your faith, your steadfastness, your unshakable bond with me. And when they see that, they too will believe. Your testimony will be a light, not one born of easy triumphs, but of faith preserved through storms. And because you were faithful in the darkest days, I, the faithful one, will never forget my promise. My beloved child, I am shaping you to carry my glory in a way only fire can forge, not through ease, not through shortcuts, but through the journey of tested faith where your heart is refined, where dependence on me becomes your root. I know each pain of your waiting. I see the heavy hope in your hands as you fight to hold it while winds of doubt batter you. But dear one, I am here. I have never left. I walk with you when you take your first trembling steps of faith, when you fall, when you grow weary and want to give up, even when you think you can't go on. I will carry you. Me hands never tear. My grace is sufficient for you. Not lacking, not delayed sufficient. And in your weakest moments, my strength will shine the brightest. You once thought your weakness disqualified you, that when you couldn't persevere, when you fell, when your faith flickered dimly, I would turn away. But no, my love, it is that very weakness that draws me to you. I am not looking for perfection. I seek the broken heart. I am near to the brokenhearted, and I save those crushed in spirit. I see you kneel in the darkness, when no one hears, no one knows. I see you still choose to believe, though there is no evidence. Though your emotions scream with exhaustion and doubt, I hear the trembling prayers you whisper when strength fails. I receive even the weak thanks you manage between tears. None of it is lost. Not a single tear is wasted. Do you know how precious your faith is to me? It is more valuable than pure gold refined by fire. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be big, only real. And it is this faith that I am using to write a testimony. One not just for you, but for those quietly watching. They are looking at how you endure, how you still pray, how you keep walking, even with a broken heart. And they will see. They will see you healed, but even more, they will see your faith, your loyalty, your unshakable love for me. And when they see that, they too will believe. Your testimony will shine like light, not born of easy victories, but of faith that held fast in the storm. And because you were faithful in the darkest days, I, the faithful one, will fulfill every promise I made. I will never leave you, never reject you, never grow weary of you. You belong to me, and I belong to you. Nothing, no past, no present, no weakness can separate you from my love. I have called you by my own name. You are not a lost voice in the crowd. You are not mistaken. You are not nameless. You are my child, loved, known, chosen, and held. My dear one, when I wove you in your mother's womb, I saw this very day. I saw your laughter and your tears. I saw every drop that would fall from your eyes, every whispered prayer, every moment you felt like giving up. And I wove my plans around every one of those things. Plans not to harm you, but to grow you, to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. These are plans woven with surpassing wisdom, with deep mercy, and with a love that never fails. Even now, as you wait, as the outcome remains unseen, I am still working all things together for your good. Don't believe you have to earn it. Don't believe you have to strive harder to deserve healing. No, my child, you don't have to beg. You don't need to plead. You are my child, and I am your loving father. And just as a father delights in giving the best to his children, I too delight in giving you good gifts. Healing is not a reward for perfection. It is the outpouring of love. Love I have had for you long before you ever knew how to ask for it. Do not fear. Do not lose heart. Do not let fleeting emotions steal away your eternal hope. Even when you do not yet see, even when now is confusing, your faith is writing a new chapter, a chapter not only etched in your heart, but echoing in the lives of others, like Job, who lost everything and suffered beyond words, yet still said, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him." And in that very place of unconditional trust, Job saw God not just with his ears, but with his eyes. My beloved, just like Job, you will not only hear about me, You will see me with your own life. You will see me in timely healing, in quiet miracles, in the unseen transformation of your heart, in faith that no longer wavers. And when that day comes, you will know that every weight, every prayer, every step in the dark was never in vain. They have all paved the way for the miracle, and that miracle I have prepared just for you, my precious child. Perhaps you are wondering why the things you've prayed for seem unanswered in the way you expected. Perhaps you're weary from hoping, from waiting too long for a miracle you still haven't seen. But hear me, my gifts do not always arrive along the paths you envisioned. I am not bound by logic or time. I do not act on human schedules, because I see more than just a moment, more than just a temporary need. I see the whole picture. I see from beginning to end. I see it all, every step, every choice, every tear, every sigh, and I am weaving them into a greater story, a more beautiful purpose, a lasting blessing. Today's moments, bitter or tiring as they may be, are not meaningless. They are preparing you for what I've destined for your tomorrow, things far beyond your expectations, blessings you couldn't even imagine without walking through these hours. It is this very battle you're in, the struggle, the days you don't want to get up, the nights you sit alone with unanswered questions, that is deepening your soul. I am expanding your heart to carry more mercy, more understanding, more love. And you will see this very compassion will be the foundation for the great purpose I have placed in your life from the beginning. Nothing is wasted in my hands, not even pain, not even the long, drawn-out waiting, not even the questions that seem to have no answer. Every time you bow your head, every time you long to escape the weight you carry, I see it. And none of it is in vain. These are pieces not to break you, but to engrave in you faith, courage, and steadfastness. Just as the earth is plowed to receive the seed, I am using everything you're going through to prepare your heart for a harvest of blessing, not only for you, but for those whose lives will be touched through yours. I know you've questioned me. I know you've cried in frustration, gone silent in despair, wondered if my silence meant abandonment. But my beloved, I have not turned my back. On the contrary, it is in those very moments that I draw closest to you. I am not afraid of your doubts. I do not demand blind, emotionless obedience. I don't want you to wear a mask of righteousness just to appear right. No, I invite a relationship that is real, alive, courageous, and deep. One where you are free to ask, to cry, to wrestle, to question, if you must. For I do not love the image of perfection you try to present. I love you with every crack, every weakness, every moment you feel inadequate. I am not offended by human frailty. In fact, it is in that very place, the place of breaking, the place of falling, that I choose to enter in. I do not flee when you shatter, for I am the one who created you. I shaped your heart with my hands. I breathed life into you, and I know exactly how it breaks. I know the disappointments of childhood, the unspoken fears, the wounds you've hidden behind a smile. Only I, the one who saw you in the womb, the one who called you by name before you were born, can heal it fully. Not merely soothe, not merely cover, but heal at the root, so you don't have to carry those invisible burdens for the rest of your life. I don't offer temporary relief. I offer eternal low. I don't merely calm the surface. I reach into the deepest parts of your soul where no one else can reach. and I am there right now, closer than your very next breath. So rest in me. You don't need to understand it all. You don't need to hold everything together. Let me hold you. Lean into my arms, like a child resting in her father's lap, not needing answers, only needing to know she is loved and safe. And my beloved, do not be afraid to hope again. I know you're scared that hope will once again be crushed, scared that if you believe again, disappointment will follow. But remember, hope is not a risk when it is placed in me. Hope in me is an anchor for the soul, unshaken by storms, unbroken by failure. Every time you hope, you declare that you still choose love, still choose to see beyond what is visible, still choose to move forward, even with trembling faith. And that hope in the midst of pain is what shakes the heavens. My beloved, I know deferred hope has worn you down, like a parched field longing for rain, yet seeing no sign of life. I see the weariness in your eyes, the emptiness swelling in your chest each time a budding hope is crushed by reality. Every sigh you've let out, every time you've wondered if you still have the strength to believe I was there, not once have I left you. And today, I call you closer not to fix you, but to nourish you. I do not blame you for feeling hopeless. I do not grieve that you wanted to give up. I understand. I know how long deferred hope can weigh down the heart. But my child, come and eat of me. I am the tree of life. I am the unfailing source of nourishment. Do not come to me only for healing from a sickness or circumstance. Come to find yourself again, the you I made with love and purpose. Let me soothe the broken hunger in your heart. Let me lift you from the dry land and plant you by the stream of life, where your soul will never wither. I want to teach you to dream again, not dreams tainted by fear of disappointment, not wishes whispered in anxiety about what if it doesn't happen, but solid dreams born from trust in me, nurtured in the safe refuge of my presence, dreams you dare to grow, not through your own willpower, but through faith that I am good, that I not only see you but have good plans woven from your very tears and stormy days. And my child, know this, healing the very thing you've longed for through all these years is not the end of your story. It is the beginning, the start of an entirely new chapter, a chapter where you no longer live just to survive, but live in victory. A chapter where you walk not just with a healed body, but a free soul, a refined faith, and a deep peace that no circumstance can take away. In this new chapter, you will discover the strength I've placed within you, a strength you never knew you had. Not the strength that comes from striving, but the strength born from abiding in me. You will walk in true freedom, not bound by the past, not ruled by fear, not striving to be loved, but living in the deep awareness that you have always been loved unconditionally and completely. The sorrowful days, the darkest nights you thought would never end, they are not your final chapter. They are not your conclusion. I do not let the darkness write the last word in your story. Let me remind you of who you are, not through the world's lens, not through the labels you gave yourself in weakness or pain. You are not left behind. You are not too broken to change. You are not too far gone to be healed. No, my child, you are not as weak as you think. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond repair. You are my beloved, the one I chose from among many, a masterpiece formed by my very breath and love. And what I began in you I will bring to completion, even though you may not yet see clear results, even though the picture remains unfinished. I want you to know that you are being transformed, day by day, hour by hour, quietly. Slowly, you are being changed from glory to glory, not by your own strength, but by the power of my Spirit who lives within you. You may feel like you're standing still, but you are moving forward. Every prayer you whisper, every time you choose to forgive, every moment you say yes to me, each one is a step forward in the journey of transformation. My hand is upon you, not only to protect, but to guide, to bless, to shape. My Spirit dwells in you, the one who comforts you in the darkest nights, the one who reminds you of truth when the world causes you to doubt yourself. And my promise, the word I have spoken over your life, still stands. Time cannot age it. Trials cannot break it. Your mistakes cannot make me change my mind. What I have promised, I will do. What I have begun, I will complete. Not because of your efforts, but because of my unwavering love. So, my beloved, be at peace. Let me lift you from the dust of disappointment. Let me wipe away the dirt that has clouded your dreams. Let me call you by your true name, not the labels the world has given you, but your real name, beloved, chosen, healed, mine. And from that place, the safe haven of my embrace, you will begin to rise, no longer afraid, no longer burdened by regret, no longer needing to prove yourself, only walking in freedom, in strength, and in everlasting love. My beloved, I see the moments when you quietly look around, watching others receive miracles, seeing them walk in freedom and healing, and then a question rises in your heart, not one of bitterness, but one of longing. Why must I still wait? Is something wrong with me? Amid the praises you hear from others, there is a whisper in your mind, maybe my faith isn't strong enough. Maybe I didn't do it right. Maybe I'm not chosen. But my dear one, I want you to stop. Stop comparing. Your journey is not theirs. Their path, though it may look smoother or quicker, cannot replace the sacred journey I am leading you on. Every soul is a masterpiece, and I never repeat my design. I do not use molds. I do not mass produce. Even your pain, your delays, your quietest sighs, I have woven them into a plan that is uniquely yours, delicate and full of purpose. Do you know this? Just as I placed every star in the sky and called each one by name, I have written your story before your first breath. No chapter of your life is accidental. No scene is filler. Every step you take forward or backward is in my sight. And what I am doing in you, even now, is a sacred work, not something fleeting or shallow, but a deep preparation for a mission only you can fulfill. The depth of your journey with long days of waiting, dark nights of doubt, and moments when hope seems extinguished will be the depth of the impact you leave behind. For the one who has walked through suffering, wrestled with faith, and still chooses to believe amidst the void that one will bring comfort, healing, and strength to others with a love that goes beyond words. And I am doing that in you. You are not left behind. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You have not missed your portion. You are being prepared with care, precision, and love. Trust me, when I delay, it is not out of indifference, it is out of protection. I am shielding you from what you cannot see, shielding you from your own impatience, shielding you from harvesting something unripe, something that might harm you instead of bless you. At the same time, I am preparing what is right, good, complete, and perfectly suited to your soul. You don't need to understand it all. You only need to trust. Trust that I am still who I say. I am the faithful one. The one who does not deceive. The one who knows you better than you know yourself. Let me be your portion, not just what I do for you, but who I am. Let me be enough for you, even before the miracle arrives, even before healing is visible to the eye. Because, my child, when you find wholeness in me, nothing in this world can take that away. Not illness, not time, not loss. Everything you see is subject to change, but I do not change. I am eternal, and your soul was created not to live by healing or success or human approval, but by my presence alone. The healing you long for, yes, it is good, and I love to give good things to my children. But know this, healing is not just an event, not merely a dazzling moment in the future. Healing is a person. I am your healing. When you draw near to me, when you let me touch the places in you others cannot see, when you sit in my presence and allow me to love you at your weakest, that is when healing begins. Healing is not only when symptoms vanish. Healing is when your heart is at peace, even if the pain remains. Healing is when you realize that you don't need everything around you to change in order to feel safe, because I am your safest place. You were made for me. Nothing else, no person, no achievement, no result can satisfy your soul like my presence can. You may seek joy here and there, may think that if you're healthy again, if your dream comes true, if you're recognized, then you'll be fulfilled. But, my child, all those things will fade if I am not at the center. And if you have me, you have everything, for I am your fullness, and I have given you all of myself, holding nothing back. No conditions, no limits. Now, I am teaching you to walk not by sight, but by faith, and this faith is not blind striving. It is the fruit of deep relationship where you know my heart well enough to believe what you cannot yet see. And when you walk by faith, you are growing. You are becoming more like me. You are being transformed, not just healed, but made new. And that is the good work I have begun in you, and I will finish it. So, my beloved, do not look at others and judge yourself. Do not compare their miracles with your process. Do not let the waiting convince you that you are forgotten. You are in my hands. You are being shaped by the most loving hands in the universe. And one day, very soon, you will look back and understand why I did things the way I did. Because your story is not just about healing. It is about me, the one who loved you, led you, and never let you go. Not even for a single day. My precious child, I know the path you're on is not easy. It is steep, rugged, and often feels like there's no way forward. There are turns where you cannot see what lies ahead. There are stretches you must walk alone, in silence, through the thick darkness of doubt and fatigue. But do you know this, even though the path is narrow and harsh, it is the road that leads to life. Not a fragile, fleeting life like dust, but true, enduring life. Life that comes from nearness to me, from faith that has been tested, from a love that cannot be broken. And you are never walking alone. I go before you to make the way. I walk beside you to encourage. I cover you from behind to protect. Nothing along this path escapes my sight. Every step you take, whether firm or trembling, I watch over. Every time you fall, I am there not to scold, but to lift you up every time you wander. I am the gentle voice calling you home. Every hidden tear at the corner of your eye, I have gathered in my robe. I have numbered every hair on your head. Not a single detail of your life is overlooked. Do you not believe I care about the smallest things? Do you think I, who created the universe, yet bend to hear a child sigh, have forgotten you? Remember, I am the Good Shepherd, not a distant master, not a hired hand, but the one who lays down his life for his sheep. I know each one by name, and you are one of my most beloved. I lead you not to chaos, or rush, or pressure, but to still waters. There, I restore your soul. There, what is broken in you begins to mend. There, you find breath again, life not from the world, but from my presence. Even if you must walk through the valley of shadow where death seems to lurk in every corner, where hope flickers like a candle in the wind, you need not fear. Not because you are strong, but because I am with you. I did not promise to keep you from every valley, but I did promise to walk with you through each one. And where I am, no evil can overtake you. My light, my love, and my power will surround you. When you tremble, I am your rock. When you are weary, I am your rest. When your soul longs for something lasting, I am your living water. O child, the road you're on is not meaningless. It is not punishment, it is invitation. An invitation to live closer to me, to depend on me more deeply, and to discover that all you truly need is not at the end of the path, but right where you are. If you open your heart to me, you are learning to trust, not because circumstances guarantee it, but because you know me, the faithful one. You are learning to love not only when everything is smooth, but when love is tested and chosen each day. You are learning to walk even when your legs feel weak, because you know there is a steady hand that will never let go. Keep walking, beloved, not in fear, but in trust, not by your own strength, but by my grace. Though the road is steep, though it is narrow, it is not lonely. And the reward is not just healing, it is me. It is deep communion. It is eternal life being sown into every step of faith you choose today. And that no sickness, no failure, no force can ever take from you. And then, once more, the symptoms return unannounced, unforgiving. They tear through the fragile hope you had cradled like a fresh sprout after the rain. You feel disoriented, heartbroken. Why now? You had seen signs of change, had felt the light, had believed this might be the final time that the miracle was near. But the pain returns, dragging doubts behind it. You feel betrayed by the very thing you once held with all your heart, hope. Hope that had blossomed like an early season flower, now withered in the cold of painful reality. And you begin to wonder, honestly, quietly, have my prayers reached you? Do you see me? Do you still care? My beloved, if you could see with the eyes of your soul, you would know that I have never turned my face from you, not for a single moment. When you cry in silence, so no one sees your breaking point, I see every tear fall. When your heart cries out in wordless groans, those silent questions, those hidden sobs, I have heard every word. Nothing in you is hidden from me. Nothing has escaped me. I have been beside you in every moment when the night wrapped your body in pain. And even when the sun shone outside while your soul was heavy with loneliness and despair, I have never forgotten you. On the contrary, I have held you close to my heart even when you were unaware. You must understand this. My precious child, healing does not always come at the pace you hope for. The human mind is bound by time, by emotion, by the craving for immediate results, but I am not. I work beyond clocks, beyond patterns. I see into the depths of your soul. And I know that true restoration healing that reaches the roots requires time. Not because I am slow, not because you are not good enough, but because I am doing something far greater. I am not merely healing symptoms on the surface. I am healing your very being. The delay you are experiencing is not a denial. It is not a door slammed in your face. It is not a punishment. I do not punish you with pain. On the contrary, I am using everything, even the aching weight, to prepare you for something more precious than physical healing, a soul matured in faith, anchored deeply in my love. Do you know this? In the delay, I am shaping your soul like a potter, patiently molding every curve of a precious vessel. I do not shape in haste. I shape with patience, with love. I am strengthening your faith, a faith no longer swayed by circumstances, no longer ruled by fleeting emotions. And more than that, I am deepening the relationship between you and me, a relationship built not merely on what you receive, but on who you trust. So do not be quick to conclude when healing hasn't arrived. Do not let the pain convince you that my silence is my absence. I have not withdrawn. I have not abandoned. I am not absent. I am at work in your pain, in the waiting, in every labored breath you take. And one day, you will look back and see those seemingly hopeless moments were actually the sturdy foundation stones of a new life, a life healed not just in body, but in soul, in faith, in the understanding that you are unconditionally loved. My beloved, keep coming to me, even when you're tired, even when nothing seems to change. Let me remain your refuge, your place of renewal, your soul's daily resurrection. Trust that I am still writing your story, and the next chapter will not only speak of healing, but of glorious transformation. Healing will come, but it will not be the end. It will be the beginning of a new life, a life that knows that no matter what happens, I remain faithful, and you are forever, my beloved, my dear one. I know every pain you carry, not a single sigh escapes my ears. Not a single tear falls without being counted by me. I do not rejoice in your suffering. On the contrary, I hurt with you. My heart aches when you despair. But in my infinite love, I will not allow your pain to be meaningless. I use everything, even the darkness, even the things you cannot understand, for good to those who love me. For those like you, who choose to keep believing, keep praying, keep holding on to hope. Even when it seems paper thin, you have asked for healing, and I have heard you. I am not ignoring you. I am not delayed in the way you think. But I am doing something deeper, something greater than anything you have dared to dream. I am not only healing your body, but I am healing the deepest parts of you, old wounds, Unending fears, buried memories, emotions you've forgotten how to name. They lie beneath the surface, hidden behind the smiles you wear to mask the pain, behind the habits and repeated choices you don't fully understand. These wounds have quietly shaped how you see me, sometimes as distant, silent. They have colored how you see yourself, as unworthy, as abandoned. And I, in my patience and love, am placing my hand upon every barren land within you, bringing healing, renewal, and life flowing once again. Yes, you've seen glimmers of light, moments of healing, moments when peace came unexplainably, days when the pain eased and your heart felt lighter. These were not illusions, not coincidences. They are signs, signs that I am moving. These are the first touches, proof that my work has begun and is continuing. I know sometimes you feel like you're moving backward, that all progress was just false hope. But no, child, those backward steps are not failure. They are invitations to press deeper into faith, into trust without conditions. They are opportunities to learn how to stand, not because you see what you desire, but because you know who you trust. When all progress seems to vanish, when your body feels weak again, when your spirit falls into despair and it feels like you're just going in circles, that does not mean my work in you is undone. Not a single miracle I begin will I leave unfinished. A seed, once sown, needs time to take root, needs the silence of the soil to let its hard shell die. And it is in that very darkness where nothing seems to happen that life is being formed. Before new life breaks the surface, I must prepare the soil. I must remove hidden stones, things no one else sees. But that can choke life if left untouched. That is why at times you feel the delay, feel as if you're going backward. It is not because I have withdrawn my hand. It is because I am digging deeper, digging deep to rebuild from the root. Remember, my timing is not your timing. What I do is not bound by clocks, by years, by the urgent schedules of the world. I am not rushed. I am not hurried. For love requires patience. For what I am building in you is not momentary peace, but a new person, free, strong, and full of light. And my ways, oh, my ways are higher than yours. When you see just a fragment, I see the whole picture. When you think this is the end, I am writing the beginning of a new chapter. When you feel forgotten, I am recording every detail, every step, every breath of yours into the palm of my hand. So keep believing. You don't need perfect faith, just honest faith. You don't have to pretend to be strong before me. I know you better than you know yourself. Keep coming close. Even when you're weary, sit with me. Even when words escape you, keep breathing. Even when your heart is heavy, I am here, and I have never ceased my work of healing, restoring, and renewing you, not just for today, but for the future you have not yet seen. My precious child, deep within, I know you long for instant relief. I hear the plea of your heart, Lord, please take this pain away right now. I understand that longing, and my heart is not unfamiliar with the tears you shed from exhaustion, from waiting too long, from every hope that seemed to vanish in silence. But child, let me ask you this. Do you want temporary relief? Or will you wait for me to bring complete restoration, not just to your body, but to your soul, your mind, your memories, and your broken heart? I am the healer, but not in the way people often expect. I do not merely lay a hand on the wound and move on. I touch every layer, even those places you've never dared to open to anyone. I am the one who sees all of you, the things you hide, the fractures you've learned to live with, the unspoken questions buried within because you fear your faith isn't strong enough. And I am not deterred by any of it. In fact, I come to heal all of it, leaving nothing out. This pain, though unwanted, has become the doorway to something deeper. A place where you no longer seek me just as a means to be healed, to fix problems, to change your circumstances, but where you seek me for who I am, because you've discovered that I am the most precious part of this journey. You are learning what no ease could have taught you: unconditional love, unshakable faith, and joy untouched by circumstance, and in that very seeking in the tears, in the silence, in every sigh, you are truly finding me, not through logic, but through your soul. I am not hiding. I am not playing a silent game with you. I am still here, still speaking, but in the language of presence, in the nearness that only a broken soul can feel so clearly. I am not a distant deity. I am the loving Father, sitting at your bedside, lifting your trembling hand, kissing your forehead as you fall asleep from exhaustion. You are learning that my presence is not dependent on your circumstances. Even when pain remains, even when uncertainty surrounds you, I am with you, steadfast as a rock, gentle as a stream. You are discovering that joy does not come from things going right, but from the certainty that you are never alone, that even in the wilderness where prayers seem unanswered, peace can still sprout, hope can still bloom. That, my child, is the miracle being formed in you, not on the outside, but deep within, a miracle that draws no attention, but quietly transforms you into someone I can use to shine light in the darkest corners of the world. I am shaping you not as a mass-produced item, but as a handcrafted masterpiece, carefully, patiently, lovingly. I am refining you through the fire of trial, not to burn you, but to purify you like gold must pass through flame to reveal its true beauty. I am preparing you to carry my glory, not a glory born of ease, but one that shines through those who have walked through pain and still kept a tender heart, still held on to faith, still chose to love me without seeing the answer. You are becoming a vessel of my light, a vessel once cracked, but now restored by my own hands. And in that brokenness, my light will shine brighter than ever before. So do not be afraid if the waiting continues. Do not think silence means I am doing nothing. In the moments that feel the most empty, I am doing my deepest work. And then, the day will come when you look back and see everything you once thought was delay was in fact the most perfect preparation for a new, radiant chapter of your life. A chapter where you are not only healed, but you become the one who brings healing to others. I am your healer. I am your wholeness. And I am giving you all of myself, nothing withheld. You are not abandoned. You are being prepared for glory. And when the miracle is complete, both in you and through you, the world will know that I am the Lord your God. And you are my beloved. My grace is sufficient for you. Not a kind of sufficient the world understands, not merely enough to survive, but abundantly enough. Enough to revive you. Enough to rebuild a heart worn down by waiting. My power is not revealed through effortless victories, but in weakness, in that very moment when you sigh and think you have nothing left to offer. You believe weakness makes you unworthy. You think faltering faith, tears, and weariness disappoint me. But oh, my child, it is precisely that weakness that draws me nearer. I do not retreat when you are breaking. On the contrary, it is in the broken-hearted that I find my dwelling. I am near to the wounded in spirit. I stay with the pressed down, the weary, and I redeem them. And that truth does not change. You are not abandoned. You are not alone, even when everything around you tells you otherwise. Every time you choose to trust not in peace, but in the dark, not when it's easy. But when all evidence seems to contradict faith, I see that is the kind of faith more precious than gold, because it's refined not merely by words, but by tears, by the choice to remain faithful when there is no guarantee. I see every whispered prayer, when no one else knows, when no one else hears, when it's just you and me, the prayers left unfinished, the short sighs I hear and understand them all. Every time you give thanks, not with a loud song, but through salty tears, I receive it as the most treasured offering. Your faith is not meaningless. Never think I don't see. Do not let momentary feelings make you question the eternal nature of my love. That faith, even if it is as small as a mustard seed, moves my heart. It is worth more than gold refined in fire. And I, the author and finisher of your faith, I am using that very faith to write a radiant testimony, a song of praise not sung only in triumph, but from the very depths of trial. I am using your life with all the things you think are too weak, too broken to proclaim a testimony to this world, not just so you will know that I am the healer, but so that those watching you, those who are hurting too, doubting too, despairing too, will see. Yes, they will see healing in you, but even more, they will see your faith, a faith not built on conditions or results, but on love and presence. They will witness perseverance, the deep bond between you and me, and that will stir in them a longing for what you have. They will believe, because you did not stop believing when everything inside you wanted to quit, because you chose to cling to me when you had nothing else left to hold. And I, the faithful one, will never overlook that. I am writing your story not with ink, but with light, and the next chapter will be a chapter of hope, not vague hope, but living, grounded, powerful hope, hope strong enough to lift not only you, but all whom you touch. My beloved child, I see it all, every steadfast step in the storm, every time you choose faith while drowning in doubt, every day you keep going with no sign of change. I see you hold on to faith not in glory, but in your darkest days. And my child, because you have remained faithful in the storm, I, the faithful one, will fulfill every promise I have made to you. My word does not change. My heart does not waver. My love does not fade. I will never leave you, never forsake you, no matter how many times you fall, how deep your doubts, how unworthy you feel. You are mine. And yes, I am yours. The relationship between you and me is not a conditional contract, not a performance-based exchange. It is a covenant of everlasting love. I have called you by name, not mistaken. Not one among many. Not a faint voice in the crowd. To me, you are unique, precious, a masterpiece crafted with care and love. When I knit you together in your mother's womb, when your first cells were formed, I saw this very day. I am not surprised by your tears. I foresaw every sob, every prayer you would lift, both those you could utter and those trapped in wordless groans. And I, with immeasurable love, have built my plans around all of it, not to abandon you, not to punish you, but to make you steadfast, deep, prosperous in ways that far exceed what you ask or imagine. My plans for you are not to harm you, but to give you hope and a future, not a future that repeats pain, but one of healing, of freedom, of living with purpose, even now, when nothing is clear, when your heart is tired, When healing feels distant, I am working all things together for your good. Even the things you cannot understand, I am using them. Even what brings you tears, I am turning it into part of your restoration. Nothing lies beyond my hands. Nothing exceeds the reach of my loving power. And child, you do not need to earn the healing I long to give. This is not a reward for the good or faithful enough. It is a gift from the heart of a father who loves you too much to ignore your pain. You don't need to beg, or prove yourself, or hide your disappointment, or pretend to be strong. You only need to be yourself with open hands, with an honest heart, with shaky but sincere steps. You are my child, and I delight in giving you good gifts, whether or not you feel worthy. But remember this, my beloved, my gifts don't always come the way you expect, not because I want to withhold, but because I see the whole picture. I see what you don't. I know that if I gave you what you asked for right now, before your heart was ready to carry it, it could become a burden instead of a blessing. I see how even the delays, even the pain of today, are preparing you for something better, greater, more enduring. I see this very struggle, the one you wish would end now, is building in you a depth, a compasión, a capacity to love and understand like never before. And all of it will become the foundation for the purpose I have appointed for your life, a purpose not just to survive, but to live meaningfully, impactfully, with eternal weight. Yes, you have questioned me. You've wept and cried out. Why? Lord, when will this end? Did I do something wrong? Why do my prayers seem to fall into emptiness? You've asked sometimes with trembling voice, sometimes with anger, sometimes in bitter silence. But my beloved, I have never turned away. Not once. Your question don't scare me. In fact, it's your very cries, your broken sobs, that draw me closer. For I am not a distant, cold deity sitting high above human pain. I am a father, a companion, one who understands and loves you with all the gentleness of heaven. I am not intimidated by your doubts. I do not need you to play the part of the perfect child. I do not demand blind obedience or fearful submission. What I desire, what I have always desired, is honest relationship. A relationship where you come to me, not with masks or polished prayers, but with a bare heart, with all your weakness, brokenness, and true longing. I am not offended by your frailty. I made it. It was my hands that shaped your heart, a heart that feels, that yearns for love. And yes, that breaks. I know every crack, every quiet wound you've never named. I have seen your silent suffering, and I have wept with you. If you must wrestle with me, then wrestle. Ask me, cry out, struggle in the night, like Jacob clinging to the angel and saying, I will not let you go until you bless me. I do not reject those who come to me in truth. And you, yes, you, are doing just that every time you dare to question, every time you dare to return and say, I don't understand, but I still need you. That is not shameful weakness. That is faith tested by fire. That is love held firm through the storm. Only I can heal your heart completely, not just soothe it for a moment, not patch the surface, but heal from within the place you believed could never be touched. I am near to you, closer than your next breath, as near as your heartbeat, not far, not silent, not indifferent. I am there, whispering in the stillness, holding your soul when it feels like falling apart. And I ask just one thing: trust me, not with perfect faith, but with whatever flicker of light remains. Trust like a child, knowing someone still holds your hand even when your eyes cannot see. Believe that I, who began the good work in you, will also bring it to completion. And child, do not fear to hope again. I know delayed hope has wearied your heart. Like a tree scorched by drought, you once hoped, once believed, once rejoiced in a tiny glimmer, only to feel crushed again. You've grown afraid to hope, for fear that believing might bring more pain. But my dear one, I do not despise that. I understand your tired heart. But today, I invite you, do not fear to hope. Come, sit with me. Eat from me, for I am the tree of life. Not a rod I throw to drag you out, but my very being, my very presence, your source of life, your nourishment. Let me feed you not only with promises of future healing, but with the very love I pour out here and now. You do not need to do anything to be more loved. I have loved you fully from the beginning, and that love is enough to heal dried up hope, to soothe bitterness, to resurrect dreams long buried. Let me teach you to dream again, not with illusions, not from desperation, but from the place of rest in me, where you no longer have to control your life, but simply dwell in your Father's heart. The healing you've long awaited, it is not the end. It is only the beginning, a new beginning, greater and deeper than anything you could have imagined. It is the start of a new chapter in your life, a chapter where you no longer walk out of obligation or fear, but in strength, a strength you didn't even know you carried. Not a strength that comes from you, but from me, the source of all life. A chapter where you will walk with a joy that is no longer fragile, no longer dependent on circumstances, but a joy rooted deeply in my presence. A joy no one can take from you. A peace no storm can erase. You no longer have to live as one who struggles each day to be worthy. You are my child. You have been. You are. And you will always be. I am proud of you. I do not wait for you to be perfect to draw near. It is in your weakest moments that I come closest. And from me, healing will not merely be a promise, it will be reality. Every wound will mend. Every broken piece will be restored. Every prayer will be answered, perhaps not in the way you expect, but always in the way that is best. And then, you will rise, not just as a survivor, but as one renewed, restored, anointed to step into a new chapter with the strength of true faith, with eyes no longer heavy with sorrow, but bright with living hope. The sorrowful, dark days, the long seasons that seemed meaningless, they are not the final word. They are not the closing lines of your story. They are but a chapter, a part of the vast and tenderly written journey I am unfolding for you. You may feel lost, as though meaning has slipped from your hands. But let me remind you who you are in my eyes. You are not as fragile as you think. The tears you've cried are not signs of failure, but marks of a courageous heart, courageous enough to feel, to love, and to keep hoping even when there are no guarantees. You are not forgotten. I have never turned my face away, never missed a single moment of your journey. Every breath you take, I know. Every dream you hold, I remember. I am not unfamiliar with your sorrow, nor do I stand distant as you fall. I have been, and still am, with you in every seemingly lonely moment. And most importantly, you are not too broken to be healed. You are not too far gone to be made new. There is nothing in you too distant for my hand to touch and restore. You are my beloved. You are chosen, not because you are perfect, but because I love you with a love that surpasses every condition. You are my masterpiece, shaped by my hands, breathed into by my life, and held by an eternal love unshaken by time or circumstance. I do not start a good work in you only to abandon it. No, I am completing the good work I began. I am patient with you, not because you are strong, but because I am strong enough, loving enough, powerful enough to see the fullness of what you cannot yet imagine. You are being transformed from glory to glory, even when your eyes cannot see it, even without visible evidence. It is happening. Each day you choose to believe. Every time you choose prayer over surrender. Every moment you rise again, that is transformation. Not sudden, not loud, but steadfast. My hand is upon you, shaping, sustaining, lifting you when you are too weak. And my spirit is within you, working, teaching, comforting, healing the innermost places you cannot reach alone. Even when you feel empty, my promise stands firm. It is not swayed by your emotions nor diminished by your circumstances. My word is eternal truth, an anchor for your soul in every storm. I see you looking around and wondering, why are others healed? And I'm still waiting? I know that question hurts. I do not condemn you for asking, but child, do not compare your journey to theirs. Each one is led by me on a unique path, refined through different trials. Their road is not your road. What I do in their lives does not make my promise to you delayed or less precious. I have designed your path with exquisite care, not rushed, not random, but precise. Every detail, every turn, every pause, just as I placed the stars and called each by name. So I have written your story with my own hand, nothing missing, nothing wasted, nothing out of place. I will not grant your request merely to appease your waiting, for I see the whole picture. I know what must be healed first, what must be restored before you step into the new season. What I am building in you is not shallow. It is sacred. It is the foundation for a fruitful life, for a mission only you can fulfill. The depth of the path you walk today will be the depth of the impact you bring tomorrow. Once you've walked through the wilderness, you will carry living water for the thirsty. Once you've known deep healing, you will bring healing love to others with genuine compassion. No, you are not missing out. I am not late. You are not behind my plan. You are not overlooked. You are being prepared. At times, it may feel like nothing is happening, but I am working in the unseen, quietly, effectively, like roots growing deep before a shoot breaks the surface. I am protecting you from what is wrong, from doors that seem good but do not lead to blessing. I am preparing you for what is right, for something not just like an answer, but like a reborn life. And most of all, I am preparing you for myself, that you would know wholeness, not from having everything, but from having me. So, my beloved child, trust me, not based on feelings, but on my nature, the one who never changes, never fails, who loves you with an unshakable love. Healing will come, but what I am doing within you is even greater than what you are waiting for. And when the season arrives, when the flowers bloom, the wounds close, and your heart is filled with peace, you will know every moment of waiting was worth it, for it brought you closer to me and made you more like me than ever before. My beloved, let me be your sufficiency, not when all good things arrive, not when you are healed, but now, even in this waiting. Let me be your wholeness before the miracle comes. Because when you find completeness in me, no sickness, no loss, no change in life can ever take that from you. I am the unchanging one in all your uncertainties. When everything else around you shakes, I remain as a rock, as a steadfast refuge through every storm. You were created for me. That's why no person, no dream, no success can ever satisfy your soul like my presence. I am the one you are truly seeking beneath every prayer. You think your deepest longing is healing, a solution, a change, but deeper still, you are longing for me. I am the fulfillment of your soul's deepest desire, to be known, to be loved, to be seen, and to belong. Healing, my dear child, is not just an event in time. It's not merely a moment of being made well and then moving on. Healing is not simply the end of pain or the resolution of problems. Healing is a person. It is me. I am your healing. I am your life, your peace, the resting place of your soul, and I have withheld nothing. I have given myself entirely to you. I have not offered you a portion. I have offered you my whole self. You may not yet see everything you hope for, but you have me, and with that, you have everything you truly need. And now, I see you learning this, not through teaching, but through the very experiences of your life. You are learning to walk not by sight, but by faith. You are learning to walk without answers, to move forward without seeing what you desire, to step onward in silence. And though the road may be steep, narrow, and hard, it is still the road that leads to life, to depth, to an unshakable life when storms come. You do not walk alone. I go before you, clearing the path, preparing what you cannot yet imagine. I walk beside you, quietly, patiently, supporting you when your steps are unsteady. And I walk behind you, shielding, covering, guarding what you cannot yet see. Every step you take, even the hesitant, slow ones, I see them all. No step is wasted. No stumble is failure, in my eyes. Every time you fall, I lift you up with my loving hands. I have counted every hair on your head. Do you know what that means? It means there is nothing too small in you for me to care about. No detail in your life too insignificant for me to overlook. I know what brings you joy, what brings you pain, what you hide deep inside. And I treasure every part of you, the parts that shine and the parts you deem weak or unworthy. If I care for each strand of your hair, is there anything in your life I would ever ignore? I am the Good Shepherd, not only guiding you, but dwelling with you, leading you through quiet fields and rugged hills. I lead you beside still waters, where you can pause, breathe deeply, and feel life flow gently within. You don't always have to strive. You don't always have to be strong. I don't expect you to walk without growing weary. I long for you to come to me when you're tired, for only I can truly restore your soul, not temporarily, but from the deepest roots. Even if you walk through the valley of deep darkness, where death seems near, where hidden fears rise, you will not need to fear any evil. Not because you are strong, but because I am with you. My presence is your shield, your light, your steady support that never fails. Darkness cannot overcome light. Fear cannot overcome love, and death cannot overcome me. My beloved child, that what I speak to you is not a distant promise for some far-off future. It is an invitation for the present. Right now, you can find rest in me. Right now, you can say, "The Lord is my portion. The Lord is my life." And that is enough. When you live from the fullness found in me, you will no longer be shaken by delays, swayed by circumstances, or lose yourself in the passing winds. For your roots, no longer grounded in the shifting things of this world, are now firmly planted in me. Remain in me. Dear one, do not rush to find shortcuts. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. Do not let the words or looks of others define what success or failure means. The path you are on, though winding, though marked by shadows, though soaked in tears, is the very path I am using to shape you into someone strong in love, deep in faith, and radiant with light. Oh, my beloved, lift your head and listen to what I am whispering into the depths of your soul. Do not let fear write the script of your future. Fear is a deceiver. It masquerades as protection, yet steals the wings of freedom. It whispers that you are not enough, that you'll never make it through, that hope is only a foolish dream. But I tell you the opposite. I created you not to live bowed down by worry, but to stand firm in the peace that comes from me. Do not let pain define your worth. Pain is not your identity, it is a season, and every season passes. You are not what you have been through. You are not the diagnosis, the endless waiting, or the unanswered prayers. You are the one I love, the one I call by name, the masterpiece being shaped by my very hands. Pain is only a tool. I alone define who you are. Do not let discouragement blind you to the work I am doing. When you are weary, I do not leave. When you doubt, I do not reject. When you collapse and feel unable to go on, I sit there beside you, but I will not let you remain there forever. I will lift you gently, tenderly, and invite you to take another step, just one step at a time, however small, however shaky, because even when you cannot see, I am still working, still moving, still weaving a tapestry out of your life. You only see the underside with tangled knots, mismatched colors, threads that seem to go nowhere. But I, the one who began this work in you, I see the beauty of the final design. What you call delay is, in fact, my hand at work, not slow, not negligent, but careful, precise, and full of love. I do not rush, for I see what you cannot. Your heart must be prepared to receive the good I am about to give. I do not pour out blessings when you are not yet able to carry them well. Delay is not punishment, it is grace. What you feel is silence, the absence of my voice is not neglect. It is a sacred invitation to go deeper. I am calling you into quiet places, into spaces where only you and I dwell. Places where you do not live by emotion, nor by visible outcomes, but by the living relationship between father and child. I want you to learn to recognize me, not only in great miracles, but in my gentle stillness, where you discern my voice with your soul, not just your ears. And what you call emptiness is truly me, making room for more. Just like a room must be cleared to welcome something precious, I am clearing your heart, removing the old, the limited expectations, the deep-seated fears and weariness, so you may receive something new, greater, deeper, more enduring, not just a passing miracle, but a life transformed. So rest in my promises. Do not strive. Do not panic. Do not try to understand it all. Let your heart be anchored in eternal truth. My promises do not fail. They are not fragile like your emotions. They do not fade with time. My words are steadfast, unshakable like a rock in the midst of stormy seas. When all else trembles, my word remains firm, and my love for you, it is everlasting. A love that does not require your worthiness, that is not measured by success or performance, that does not change when you are weak. It is a love beyond time, beyond understanding, and even beyond your failures. I do not love you when you are healed. I love you even in the middle of your journey without answers. You will not walk through this storm alone. I will carry you through it all. Through the pain, through the waiting, through the silence, through the dry seasons, even through the moments when you have no more words to pray. Not by your own strength, but by my grace, by my unshakable power, and by the heart that never lets you go. And when you come through this journey not just healed, but with a heart made new, with faith refined by fire, with eyes that shine from a soul that has endured, you will know I was there all along. And you will become the person I created you to be: strong, loving, and life-giving to others. And on that day, yes, that day will surely come when healing is complete, when your testimony flows like living water from your lips, when the beauty of my work in you is revealed with brilliance and clarity. You will look back and understand. You will remember the days that felt forgotten, the unspoken prayers, the tears that soaked your pillow, and you will know I was never far. You will see that every tear watered the ground of miracles, and every sigh reached heaven and became seeds for a glorious harvest. You will realize that what I did was not just heal your body, but transform your heart. I made your soul gentler, deeper, more steadfast, more intimately connected with me. You will see that the greatest miracle was not just in the result, but in the journey, where I held your hand through what felt like a lonely road. And then, you will rise not merely as someone who overcame illness, but as a new creation, renewed from the inside out. You will not only be restored, but reborn into abundant life. And from your pain, you will become a vessel of hope, not theoretical hope, but hope that has endured, proven in the storm. You will not speak in theory. You will speak with authority, with compassion, with power, because you met me in the fire, held on to me in the darkest night, and did not let go. You will walk not with borrowed light from ease, but with a brilliance born of intimacy with me, the light of one who has learned to rest in the Creator, who has found fullness not in circumstances, but in the presence of the Living One. And others, those still in the storm, still searching for a way out, will see me through you. They won't just hear of me. They will see me in your life, in your humility, in your faith, in the healing that shines through you as a living testimony. So, my child, wait with me. Do not fear. Do not rush toward outcomes. Remain in my presence, and let my voice be louder than every fear within you. Let me be the one you return to each day, your refuge, your breath, your rest. Let my presence be the peace of your soul, the place where you need not pretend, need not strive, for I am not finished with you. No, I have only just begun. And what I begin, I will complete, for I am faithful. My plans for you are never meant to harm you, but to prosper you, to fill you with life and hope. My plans are always good even when they take unexpected turns. They are still leading you where you need to be. You are loved. You are held. You are being healed even in this very moment. Whether you feel it or not, whether anything around you changes or not, life is flowing in you. Peace is budding. Hope is rising. And yes, I am moving. Now, my beloved, pray this from your heart, like a child who wholly trusts their father. And let my presence cover you as you speak, not mere words, but a declaration of living faith. Almighty God, I come before you in humility and brokenness. There are days I no longer have the strength to ask, but today, I choose to open my heart, for I believe you have heard even the silent sighs within me. Please heal me, not just in body, but deeper still, in the places I've been afraid to touch. Cleanse me of the fears rooted in my soul. Heal the memories that have distorted how I see myself. Do not let me seek the miracle and forget the miracle maker. Today, I need you not only to change my situation, but to transform me from within. I surrender my soul, my mind, and my body into the hands of the one who has loved me to the end. Give me strength to wait for you in faith. And when I can no longer walk, carry me in your arms. Dear Father, in this weary silence, I realize I long for you more than ever before. I once thought I needed quick healing, an immediate answer. But the longer I wait, the more I see that what I truly need is you. Help me dare to hope again, not from desperation, but from the rest I find in your love. Plant again the dreams you once placed in my heart, that I may not just live, but live abundantly, fully, and according to your will. If the journey is long, let me not walk alone. Let me see your light in the night, and give me faith to trust in what I cannot yet see. Lord, faithful one, who has walked with me through the deepest valleys, I come not in strength, but in surrender. There were times I thought I'd gone too far, too weary to go on believing, but you remained. You never left. Today, I rest in your embrace. Heal me in the way you know is best. Teach me to see beauty in the process, and to believe the miracle is not only in the outcome, but in your daily presence. Lord, I do not need to understand everything, only to know that you are doing good. Let my heart rest in that truth. Thank you, precious Father, for being with me through every lonely hour. When I had no strength to pray, you still listened. When I wanted to give up, you held my hand tighter. Your love kept me from falling into the pit of despair. I thank you not because I am completely healed, but because you are healing me step by step, moment by moment, breath by breath. You are my hope, and I know if I have you, I have everything. Thank you, Father, for being always faithful. I thank you, Lord, for not distancing yourself when I questioned, when I was angry, when I was tired and weak. You are not surprised by my questions. You embrace all of me, both my faith and my doubt. Thank you for being near to the brokenhearted and for healing the wounds only you can see. You are the one with whom I can be real, and you still love me. Your patience and mercy are the most precious gifts in this journey. I lift this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong community of faith.